Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. It's gonna be StarLadder Star Series day number 25, if I'm correct. I hope I'm correct. Doesn't really matter that much anyways. We're gonna have 3 games today. First one is gonna be Empire versus eL'Pride. We're gonna see No Tidehunter versus 3D Max after that. And last but not least is gonna be Mouse Sports taking on 4FC. So starting off with Empire versus eL'Pride. For Empire, it is, of course, eL'Pride is considered to be the weaker of the two, though with Empire's new lineup, I'm kind of curious to see how they'll do here. Of course, eL'Pride recently also lost a couple of their members, but we'll see here on the rankings that it's basically the case that if Empire doesn't win this one, they won't be going to Kiev, so they have to win this one. For eL'Pride, it doesn't matter anymore. They're not going to Kiev, but they're also not going to be dropped down to the Pro Series. So they are secure. They just want to make Empire's life as difficult as possible, and they want to make them sweat. Because even if Empire wins this game, they're still at the question of if they're actually going to be going to Kiev, because that's not entirely sure. It really depends on if either Virtus Pro or Mouse Sports is going to lose on Thursday, when there is indeed a game between Mouse Sports and Virtus Pro, and then it will depend on those. The loser of that team will be on par with Empire. Then it is the call of StarLadder what they're going to do with that. But for now, we're going to see if Empire can indeed win this game and can still keep their chances to go to Kiev. We're going to have a Wisp being banned out together with a Bat Rider, Cuddle, and the Nyx Assassin. Therefore, the Darkseer was the first pickup for eL'Pride, the team that actually chose to want to have the first pickup. And I just realized I'm looking a lot in the camera, but the camera is not on. Awkward. But yeah, they chose the first pick. They were complete in the lobby as the first ones. We're going to be seeing the Magnus and the Gyrocopter picked up by Empire, so already 2 very secure heroes. As in very determining heroes, defining heroes, that's the word I was looking for. They have got 2 lanes already sorted. And we're going to see what eL'Pride is going to do against that. They could pick up the Bane and the Lifestealer. I think kind of picking up the Bane when there's already a Gyrocopter on the opposing team is probably a good thing to have, because otherwise that Bane will be picked up by Empire, and we all know that Gyrocopter Bane is very annoying. Should eL'Pride indeed pick up that Lifestealer, because if they don't pick up the Lifestealer, maybe Empire is going to be picking up something else than the Bane. They're going to actually pick up the Rubik. And which hero are they going to pick up with that? If they don't pick up a carry right now, well, it's going to be tough for them, because Empire is probably going to ban out a lot of those carries that you would normally see. But they do pick up the Chen, so they have got some jungle hero in their lineup already, with the Rubik as a support and a Darkseer on the solo offlane. But their most defining heroes, I feel like, for their lineup are still yet to be picked up. So I think Empire can play a big role in defining that one for eL'Pride, to just force them to pick up what's left. Unless eL'Pride already knows what they want to have, and they know that Empire is not going to ban those out. So of course that could be a very good possibility as well. We're going to be seeing the Gyrocopter. What is he going to be combined up with? Is it going to be a support that Empire is going to be picking up now? Because if they don't pick up a support right now, again, eL'Pride will have an easy job banning out heroes that Empire might still want to have. So something like, well, personally, I mean, Bane is all great and stuff, but personally I like something like a Shrek or a Lina in this case, or even a Jakiro, just to mix it up with the Magnus and have that RP with actually a follow-up. Of course, you already have the Flak Cannon and the Rocket Barrage and the cooldown, so a lot of AoE damage already going through. But I do like those supports that just have that AoE damage. And Bane is nice for shutting heroes down. You know, he has that Fiend Script and a Nightmare, and then the Enfeeble as well. So in 3 kind of disables in a way, I guess. But he is single target only, and I personally like to see my microphone isn't on in Dota TV. That is not good. Let's just change that real quick. That normally doesn't happen. Sorry, people inside Dota TV. It is my fault, as I also even forgot to do the whole setting stuff. Welcome people inside Dota TV as well, though. Sorry for that. I fixed it. I will type it also fixed into mins. Sorry for that. Normally doesn't happen. My bad. There. Fixed. So it's gonna be a Lifestealer for Empire. It's still a Lifestealer, and it's still, I mean, it's a combination that we see more often from Empire as well, just to have an aggressive trial and a Lifestealer free farming on the safe lane. Of course, in theory, Gyrocopter could be mid, Magnus on the off lane, Lifestealer on the safe lane, that is. But a lot of different possibilities here. The one thing that is the most obvious is No supports yet, no jungle. So what is eL'Pride gonna ban out? Which supports do they not want to face with the lineup that the Empire has? Is it gonna be that LeShrek, for example? LeShrek and Lifestealer are pretty close buddies in that case. Is it gonna be a Jig hero? Is it gonna be a jungle hero? Does eL'Pride just not want to face an Enchantress, for example? Or an Enigma? It's all still possible. But eL'Pride, they're taking their time. And it's gonna be the Undying, that's the support that they don't want to be facing. Now for Empire, they have the chance to ban out some of the carries that they don't want to be seeing. Because eL'Pride, they still need and a carry and probably a solo mid. So we're seeing already a Luna being banned out, but what you can also could be expecting is something like a Puck or a Queen of Pain or a Phantom Lancer even, or just, you know, carries that Empire doesn't want to face. We're gonna have the Bane indeed banned out by eL'Pride, so that's the one that they don't want to be facing. And you know, with already the root picked up on eL'Pride and the Chen, so they're therefore not really having any more space to see, or sorry, to pick up another support for themselves. They couldn't pick up the Bane anymore themselves, which is quite a sad thing, because if you think about it, what heroes are left that could do something against a Lifestealer through his BKB? Because Lasso is no longer there, the RP is on Empire, we have the Bane now banned out, we still have the Roar, so that would actually be a pretty nice one to see.
Ten seconds remaining.
Didn't I just type that Dota TV? Ah.
5 seconds remaining.
There we go. Yeah. But
reserve time.
But yeah, Aurora would be the only thing left. And maybe Empire is even gonna ban out that one. They banned out the Puck, so that's a solo lane being banned out. Enchantress still the ban out for eL'Pride, as they just don't want to be facing that counter to the Chen in a way. And of course also Enchantress, I mean, she is later game, she is probably a bit less valued than the Chen, but early game she can actually be a bit more aggressive than the Chen can be, because she can get a lot more creeps early on than the Chen, because Chen only gets one, of course. Gonna be seeing the anti-mage getting the ban, so that's gonna be the carry that eL'Pride cannot go to. We still have, of course, the Phantom Lancer in the pool.
10
though
seconds
I mean, Phantom Lancer is great and stuff if you have a team that can take the attention away from the Phantom Lancer while he farms. And if you look at the lineup for Empire, oh wow, they're gonna send Rubik mid. I mean, I said that possibility was there, or at least I think I said it out loud, I'm not 100% sure. Are they gonna leave the top lane entirely open and go for a trial lane still? Darkseer mid is also a possibility, Shadow Demon mid is also something that we've seen. It's interesting to see this though. And I mean, Shadow Demon is a great hero, don't get me wrong, but right now, if you're up against 2 carries and a massive team 5 potential hero from Empire, what can you do in return? I mean, Darkseer, of course, is a great hero, but he needs some kind of follow-up. Rubik is a great hero if he can steal something amazingly well from Empire. Chen can heal everything up that's done, but what can they do in return? That is the question. By the way, for all the people asking, I think that Pa actually is Vegas, or at least, well, he has been played under the Vegas. He has played under the Vegas tag before, but I couldn't really find any real confirmation that he actually is Vegas. There is the Lina still. As I said, I like that one to be combined up with the Magnus. Juggernaut. And there's a Juggernaut. So it looks like eL'Pride, they are forced to end this early. When Chen is level 5 or level 6, they are gonna try to push. But what then? You're gonna be up against a Gyrocopter with a Flak Cannon. You're gonna be up against an RP, and by that time Magnus will probably be also level 6. And what else is Empire gonna be picking up that can also stop them from pushing? I mean, it's not a brilliant, massive pushing lineup that you normally see. They might actually, Empire might actually pick up still Nature's Prophet or something, and just a split push, make them pay. If they want to go 5-man Dota, that's fine. But one of their lanes is gonna be pushed in, the one that they're not. And there is a Nature's Prophet. Of course, also combined with the Lifestealer, pretty nice. They infest and able to be global. Yeah, we all know those global strats lately. But that is indeed the Nature's Prophet on the side of Empire, and let's see who is gonna be playing what and where, most importantly. Because it kind of depends on where they're gonna be running that Rubik/Shadow Demon. If they're gonna be leaving the top lane open, or if they're gonna just get a solo laning Rubik solo. I mean, we've seen it before, and it can work out. I can ask through the admins what Upa is, actually. Just to check. And there we go. Let's see who plays what. We have a pause instantly. Doesn't matter. It will not stop us from introducing the player. We've got Pa standing in for Empire. He's going to be playing the Magnus. Now, I did check his Steam profile, but it is unclear if it's actually Vigas or not. He has played under the Vigas tag before. I've asked the admins. No replies as of yet. Like I said, I mean, he's played under the tag of Vigas before, but he's also played under the tag of others before. We've got the Resistance, which is actually Blow Your Brain. He's playing the Lifestealer. Scandal will be the Gyrocopter. Goblak on the Nature's Prophet. And we'll see Silent playing the Lina. We jump ourselves over to the Radiant side, where eL'Pride is getting ready for battle. We have got Massacre playing the Juggernaut, Android on the Chen, Hakon on the Shadow Demon, and then we get to the stand-ins. It is Neslik that is playing the Darkseer for eL'Pride this time, and Riku, we see him again, and he is gonna be the Rubik. There we go. And let's see where everybody's gonna go, because that's gonna be interesting. Neslik is gonna be on the long lane still, so they're not leaving the top lane open. Look at the items of Riku. He is gonna go mid. He is gonna go for fast battle. So it's been a while. It's definitely been a while, but we've seen it before. Rubik solo mid, with his normal layout also. Riku not having the pimped one. Doesn't matter though. We'll love him anyway. And we have, of course, got a semi-trial and then on the bottom lane with the the Juggernaut on the bottom lane, up against the Magnus. So we're gonna see how he's gonna do. He's already gonna place a Sentry Ward, seeing if they're gonna be going aggressive. We'll find out though. In the meantime, we have got Silent disconnecting, but it looks like someone else is controlling him anyway. And they're gonna be okay with him not being back yet until the game starts, probably when there might be another pause. Android just rotating, probably gonna go either check for the rune spot or maybe go for a ward. As just checking, no other HUD, unfortunately. Let's see who's gonna get lucky with the runes. Is it gonna be the Nature's Prophet? Well, Nature's Prophet sits on both sides, I guess. Is it gonna be the Magnus? Actually, we have seen Vigas Magnus before, if it's actually Vigas. I hope it is. Because Vigas Magnus was really interesting to see. He actually did amazingly well, and he got a lot of great RPs going. So I'm hoping it's him. I think the hero kind of suits him. Suicide mode. Yeah, and Magnus is actually a hero that can have that going for him. We've got Scandal up against the Rubik. Now, this combination, neither should die unless one person makes grave mistakes, because neither have got this escape mechanism, right? Wait a second. Magnus gonna be fine for now. Hakon is just gonna try to make sure he doesn't get any experience there. Oh, hello. There is a disruption if he really wants to, but harassment alone is okay as well. As long as he just tries to get him out of experience range, that will be fine as well. As we have got Silent, gonna do the same thing with the Darkseer, so we see both being about the same stun hits, but there's no way that he can follow up on that by himself, considering that Blow Your Brain is still sitting top and is not gonna be able to do anything. Whoa, Skewer, Hakon, don't die now. He still has his disruption, so it's still very safe for both of them. They're eating well, both of them are even on tangos right now. Used 2 of their tangos, and the harassment continues. And as long as these two are exchanging blows, it is not going to be any extra experience for that Magnus. In the meantime, it is 2 for the Rubik, and on the Gyrocopter it is 4 for 1. What's with that? Wanting to call everybody Massacre. That's awkward. Normally never happens. Harassment continues. Still not getting any extra experience there. I mean, I'm kind of checking, like, where would I think the first blood would be? Like, it could be middle, because we know Scandal. He can do that, and the flak cannon already level 1. It's very annoying to deal with for Riku. I mean, he is going to be harassed constantly, whether he likes it or not. But also, he is going to, therefore, because of that flak cannon, the lane is going to get pushed out. And that means, of course, that he will be able to get to be safe with his tower. It could be the bottom lane if the skirmish between Hakon and Pa is going to be... oops, nice disruption. It's going to be... well, it's going to be coming towards serious terms, but for now it's not the case just yet, and would probably also be only the case if Chen comes out of the jungle, and he does have a Ursa. We saw the Ursa moving there already, but... probably something that like a centaur would be needed. And of course the combination is great with those kind of melee creeps, because you have got the disruption and then the creep can just walk up to there to try and get that stun or clap off. Whichever comes first. But we'll see if that's actually going to be something that Android can do. There will be another disruption needed, and for now it is Shadow Demon that is just pulling on the bottom lane. The same thing goes for the top lane though, as in it could be top lane that we're gonna see the Darkseer fall, but then again, is it gonna be then because he didn't want to exchange blows again with Alina, or is it because Goblak just rotates towards the top lane and gonna TP there, gonna sprout up and gonna be trying to go for that kill? It could all be. Stun hits again. Silent. He's fine though. He has still got one of his clarity, so far so good. And there's gonna be a troll being traded. The Ursa dropping on the floor for that one. In the meantime, the mid lane, the only reason this is gonna be a kill for either is because pure outplay, I guess, because neither in theory should die. And here they come. They're gonna go for Nestlik. There will be a sprout up. There we go. There's no surge because the Darkseer is still level 1. Another stun over moves. Nestlik cannot run. Will be going down. And the first blood goes to Silent, and that is gonna be nice for him because it's gonna be able to get some boots. And of course, I mean, he was the one that wasn't getting any experience because he was constantly exchanging blows with that Darkseer. So really nice that they got that kill, and kind of a shame for Nestlik that he does not level 2 just yet. So no surge with the surge, he probably would have been able to get away for sure. But they realized he was still level 1, and they could just do something against that. Killed him off. All good. All is fair and in love and war. And we have got Magnus level 2 by this time, so he is slightly ahead of the Darkseer right now. Still not able to get that close though, and I'm kind of curious to see when eL'Pride is gonna try to make their move, because they don't have a lineup to sit around and wait for Empire to move. They have a lineup that requires action, that requires pushing, and just probably at some point 5-man Dota. But when are they gonna do that? Are they gonna do that when that Chen is at level 5, which he is almost at? By the time that he is level 5, we're gonna see Riku already at level 6. We're gonna see the Juggernaut at level 6 as well, and he has got level 2 in his healing word, so he will be able to help his team out with those 5-man pushes. But they're gonna have to be content with trading towers, because as soon as they start 5-man pushing somewhere, this top lane is not gonna last very much longer, because there's gonna be a Nature's Prophet that's gonna help out with the push, and I don't think that Empire is planning to stop. I mean, worst case scenario, we're gonna see a base race already at minute 20 or something. That would be kind of interesting. But yeah, it's just nah, that won't happen. Crazy talk, won't happen. But then again, I say it again, eL'Pride, they need to make something happen at some point, and they need to do it before that Lightstealer is gonna get out of control. We have got level 6 up on Scandal now, cooldown already used, and that is the cooldown. No, Rocket Barrage actually stolen for Riku. Gonna be able to get creep waves with that, and of course as soon as someone comes close, you know, Rocket Barrage doing the works. Works very well, by the way, together with the telekinesis, because you can just walk under his target. So if he gets a gank going, with help from maybe from Android, who hasn't really stepped himself out of the jungle that much, then we might see something happening there. In the meantime, Magnus, level 2 still, managed to get himself almost level 3. And it's actually a Nestlik that is already on level 4, so he has picked up his pace, and he actually has got himself a surge. So whatever happened earlier is not going to happen again, unless that Sprout, of course, comes after he used his surge, which is something that Goblak will, of course, watch out for, because if I know that, that means it's common knowledge, and common knowledge is something that all pro players should be knowing. By the way, let's for now switch to the net worth for a second, because I'm kind of curious to see how things are going there. We of course know that the Lifestealer is doing very well last hits. He didn't get the first blood money because that of course was silent, but he is very high on net worth and he is the highest on the list, followed by a Massacre on his Juggernaut. What are you doing, Mac? Oh, they're just really arresting each other again, and this is actually level 4 Shadow Demon. And level 3 now also up on the Magnus though, but I mean, he wants to get his level 6, that's why he's a Magnus. Needs that reverse polarity. Now we have got a push coming on this bottom lane. Might see tier 1 tower getting harassed a bit, as also Chen comes in with 2 of his creeps. And Riku coming in as well as Hakon. So we're gonna have 4 heroes here on this bottom lane, with just still sitting on the top lane, the Darkseer, purely to make sure that this lane is not gonna get pushed out for now. The top lane is gonna be safe. The Iron Shell will be able to take care of that, at least to make sure that the lane is not gonna be as far pushed as this bottom lane. Riku picking up the tower gold. I'm quite curious to see what he's gonna go for. Normally when we see Rubik's in a solo mid, like going for the movement, going for the mobility is one of the higher priorities for Rubik's. Like something like a Force Staff and a Blink Dagger. And then I do mean end, because it's both. Hello Omni Slash by Magnus. He was of course still level 3, so that wasn't really that much of a challenge. Level 8 Massacre with face boots. He's also got 2k gold, so he's doing really well on the gold for him. And of course we're looking already for that Omni Slash earlier on, but only now was he able to find it, and the Magnus, he did skewer himself away, but the Omni Slash still hit. And the tower is going to be getting some pressure with this as well already. Even without the Chen being around there, as we do have Rubik sitting around. Scandal, Invis Rune activated. Can he get something going is the question. Well, maybe with help of his teammates, because it looks like they have set their eyes to the tier 1 tower. Or Goblet can be there any moment though, if he really wants to. We have Silence still rotating middle. Top rather. Here comes the telekinesis as soon as he wants it. There comes the telekinesis, and he stole the flak cannon. Well, it might not be ideal, but it's still quite nice to start pushing, I guess. They're actually Lena TP'd herself in. That shouldn't be happening. Disruption. Trying to help out Riku. Riku was taking a lot of damage, but Hand of God helps him out. Scandal's still alive for now. He's going to be able to back himself up to behind his tower. But everybody of eL'Pride quite low because of that cooldown, and maybe that even stopped the push from happening, which is not too bad for Empire. I mean, they did lose their Lena, but if that helped them stop the push, it actually, I mean, it's okay, because as long as they stop eL'Pride from pushing, they are getting ahead, because later game, you know what's gonna happen then. I mean, hero-wise, it's just eL'Pride not looking as good as Empire. So as long as they can keep their tier 1 towers alive, well then all is fair, all is good. We've got drums now up on Massacre, so more auras, and of course auras are very important early game. It's more important early game than late game, I guess, in a way. And it's gonna be all indicators that they wanna be pushing again fairly soon. But when is fairly soon? They dust it up. Gonna be running to the mid lane probably as fast as they can with that. We do have the mechanism being battled by Android. It's not done yet though. It's only the buckler that's ready for now. And of course Darkseer is still sitting on the top lane by himself, just trying to push the lane out, trying to make sure that they're not gonna go in. We have a level 4 up on the Magnus. Can they do something also with Scandal around their cooldown coming down? This could be trouble. Nice! Centaur Sun up on 2. Telekinesis hits an illusion though. Doesn't matter. Soulcatcher also an illusion. Who cares? It is Empire that gets himself away. And unfortunately, well, I guess I say unfortunately, but I guess it was fortunate for Scandal. Again, that illusion rune really helped him out. So it's not over just yet, and it's Rubik that picked himself up a shockwave. Showed the pushing power with, well, is there, at least for the creeps. Massacre looking for an Omni Slash, wants to get it on Scandal. Scandal realizes that he's there though. He's going to be backing off, and he's going to have to give up his tier 1 tower for now. There is a fortification, so if they still want to try to contest it, they can. They don't have anything like a Magnus or something like that. That would be, of course, something that later on we are going to be looking for, because there's going to be a Rocket Mirage, Riku trouble! He got dropped so fast! Tower does not get denied. We have Magnus locked inside a net, but they're just gonna go for the Troll Warlock, and it doesn't look like Empire is gonna be trying to chase them down. Oh, missile still gonna hit, but you know. But your tower went down, and of course at some point when those kind of pushings happen for
Radiant's
eL'Pride,
middle tower has been denied.
we're gonna see Empire trying to go for team fight as well, and they have the better team fight overall with that RP. They have got, of course, the RP, and not only that, the cooldown split or the light strike array from the Lina to follow up on the RP. Dragon Slave, a lot of AoE damage with also the Nature's Wrath bouncing through, and then you can pick anybody off with still the open wounds. And of course the infest damage that could go through is pretty big as well. And we do have Blow Your Brain finishing up his armlet at the moment, so you'll have that one.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And by the way, for the people wondering, the admins have still not replied if Pa is actually Vegas. I see a lot of people have joined since the last time I said it, but we have seen Vegas play Magnus, of course,
Radiant's
before,
middle tower is
so
under
he
attack.
can, and it could be him. As he has also played under the Vegas tag before, but he's also played under different players' tags. Actually, for example, he's played under Hakon's tag, which is actually playing on the eL'Pride right now, so it is not entirely sure if he's actually Vegas. I do believe he is, though. Okay, I just saw the chat. If Villa is calling him Vegas, then I will too. It is Vegas. There we go. Fixed.
Dire's top
Villa
tower is
cannot
under
be
attack.
wrong. Let's see the pressure coming on the top lane. Of course, it's the last tier 1 tower that eL'Pride still has standing. And they're gonna try to go for it. They have now, however, got to face an RP if Vegas gets it off in time. He doesn't have a blink or anything like that, but no, it's not needed if you're coming surprised. And even more so, you have still got the Skewer to initiate with. Can he find one now, though? This would be a perfect opportunity if he just had a blink dagger right now. Look at those positionings. He can still go for it, though. Oh, he dodges the vacuum there. Look at the positioning. How much does he wish he had a blink dagger right now? Sentry being placed. Looking for that Omni Slash, perhaps. Massacre has got it up. If he can find it without getting shut down. Still 5 heroes versus 4, by the way. I say versus 4 because I think Lina is around here. Well, she's around there, but there that is. But on the bottom lane, it's actually Nature Prophet that's farming. He could, of course, be here any moment. So he could try for this. And the moment that we see him start on TTP, we know that the call has been made. Go. That's the call that Empire is waiting for. Just that one call. Just that one call so that Vegas can jump himself in and go for that RP. But so far, no TP yet from Goblak. He's sitting still trying to push the tier 1 tower bottom. If they can exchange the tower, wouldn't be too bad. And they are, of course, wasting eL'Pride's time in the meantime on the top lane. I mean, if they're not gonna get anything top with 4 versus 5, then of course Empire is gonna be the one to get ahead. No go signal just yet. Maybe when the tower, well, the tower is actually going down on the bottom lane. Hope we missed out. Gonna be hitting up on the Rubik. Nature's Prophet still not TPing. But this is bad, by the way, for eL'Pride. I mean, Empire is getting farm on 2 lanes. eL'Pride is sharing the farm with 5 people on the same lane. And that's not good. We do have a blink dagger now up on the Rubik though, so his mobility is indeed there. When are we gonna see Goblak make the call? Open wounds. Is he gonna TP right now? There's gonna be maybe something. Is there gonna be an RP? We look for a big up, look for the RP. Can't find it. There it is. Hits an only one though. Light strike away to follow afterwards, but it doesn't matter. He was blaze spinning, and that doesn't do shit then. Magic immunity. Chen did go down there though. Tower did not. Goblak did TP. Not able to get the tier 2 tower for now. Maybe they're gonna try to go for Blow Your Brain still, because he is left here by himself. His Massacre is gonna be able to tank the tower up. But there's his ward healing him up to full, and that is indeed a tower going down in favor of eL'Pride, but they lost a Chen for it. We lost a tier 1 tower of their own for it. I'm not quite sure if that's all that effective, but I do think that it could have ended way worse for eL'Pride. The fight was kind of messy for Empire. I don't think they realized that eL'Pride was actually gonna go in. But they did. And they did make sure they wasted that RP up on Massacre. I mean, Massacre He was basically spinning for the entire duration of and the RP and the Light Strike Array. So then all that AoE damage that I mentioned would be nice after the RP. It doesn't really matter because it's not there. It doesn't do anything. They do force eL'Pride to, after the tier 1 tower, go back to farming though, and this is a time when things get tough for eL'Pride. I mean, we see the lineups, we see what eL'Pride needs to do to get this game. They are fighting against the clock basically. Orchid's gonna be the one for Blowy Brain to have, and he's almost got that complete actually. He's of course doing very well on the farm. He is being followed by Massacre, but Massacre, I mean, if you take a look at the difference, it's 3k gold, which in 17 minutes into the game, that's a lot of gold. That's a lot of gold. So we're gonna see if Massacre can keep up, because that's basically the question. If this game lasts very long, then it's gonna be Massacre that's supposed to be carrying a team, and maybe some pro Rubik plays. But that's basically counted. If you're a pro Rubik player, there's different ways you can do it. Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay. Thank you for that contribution, Vegas. If that's Vegas,
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
then, you know, it's the new PGG black hole. I don't know. I think he missed his skewer though. He wanted to, of course, go for Massacre, but he missed his skewer and didn't get the RP off. In the meantime, tier 1 tower top has been pressured and pushed down, so the towers are even once again. And that could be troublesome for a team that wants to be ahead based on time. Vacuum in. Skewer away from Vegas. Nice stun up on Massacre. Looking for that Omni Slash, can't find it for now though, and of course they realize, like, you know what, RP on cooldown, we can try to take Roshan right now, but they are trading it for 2 towers, and I mean, that hurts quite hard. That hurts real hard, and because, you know, you should be the pushing lineup for eL'Pride, and it feels like they're losing their grip on the game. The gold grab is going towards Empire by about 8k gold, 8.5k gold. Silence is going to be able to land a Son of a Massacre there as well. Going to be locked inside though. Fate Blood, ooh, that's a kill. Nestlick picking it up with the vacuum there. In the meantime though, I'm not sure if they don't realize this, but it's their base. People, your base. Now they realize. Now they fortify. And it's gonna be the telekinesis and the skewer back to the low ground for the Magnus. But hello, your base. Aegis picked up the Juggernaut, but the melee racks. eL'Pride, what are you doing?
Middle tower is under attack.
How can you be confident in letting your barracks go down at 19 minutes in without anybody being present here? And it wasn't even like there were like 4 people, 5 people taking it down. No, it was just 2 people doing a very slow push and then just walking up the high ground, bashing on the tier 3. Hey, let's bash on the melee barracks because nobody is here. Oh, the barracks went down. No, someone came to defend. Let's back out. That's basically how it went. And we're still having a siege creep bashing on the range barracks, but there's nobody there to take it down. This is a free set of racks for just a Roshan. Boom! Range racks down. For just an Aegis up a Massacre, they lose 3 towers and barracks. That, I can guarantee you, is not worth it. We do have an RP back up again on Vegas. We're chatting with this army creeps, but it's tough. Like, if you have got yourself eL'Pride as lineup, right? Like, pretend you're playing chess and it's like 1 versus 1 and you can like pick up 5 heroes. That's basically the way I normally think about it. Telekinesis, wait a second. Magnus gonna go for an RP. If he gets it here, that would be huge. He'll have 3 people. There we go. And it's gonna be nice infest damage going through as well. But the Hand of God still heals people back up. Massacre being silenced up. Cannot do anything right now. That's the Orchid completed from Blowy Brain, by the way. It is still Magnus that dropped with the Omni Slash. Might be able to pick something up. Telekinesis, Lifestealer, trouble. Blowy Brain, dead. Nice Light Strike Array, but the stick charges on Hakon still keep him up, and it's gonna be silent. That will be the one to drop. That's a kill for Massacre. Can they get Goblack as well? Facebook to chase him down. Is there a Sprout? There could be. Oh, that was a nice Sprout. Just blocking him in, but he uses his Ghost Scepter. Will be able to stay alive, well, Shadow Blade rather. Lothar's Edge, whichever name you prefer. And we do have the push continuing though. eL'Pride, they might still have it, but they're gonna have to be forced back towards their top base anyway soon, because you know what? It's pushing in. And you know what else? The bottom lane is pushing in. Because there was a gyrocopter, the thing as the Nature's Prophet was doing before. Just pushing. Nobody cared then. At least someone cares now. They do get ourselves a tier 2 tower, and it was a good fight for them, that's for sure. But it was, I mean... Okay, so I'm going to continue my previous train of thought before that all happened. So you want to go push, right? You have, you know that you're up against a Lifestealer and a Gyrocopter, and you have a Juggernaut for yourself for carry. So you know late game, you're not going to cut it. So you're thinking, well, let's then try to make the game a bit shorter. Let's just try to go for pushing. So what you want to do is you want to be standing somewhere 5-man and then be able to survive long because you've got yourself a Hand of God and you've got yourself a healing ward, and you know, that's all fine, and we just saw they can definitely do that. But if you imagine, like, if you're having a siege, 5 people are standing there, what now happens is, because you gave a free Rax, is that you're gonna be, oh wait a second, buy, oh, Gem of True Sight, they just bought that only. Well, thank you. And it's gonna be Chen that's gonna go down as well. Ooh, nice disruption though, but I don't think it's gonna matter that much. Mechanism helping out, but yeah, no Hand of God because it's still on cooldown from the previous fight. So you're standing there with 5 people and someone has to back off because they have to defend their base. I mean, that's not what you want to have. Omni Slashes? No, there's a Shadow Blade, of course. We just saw Goblike trying to bait that one out. And it's gonna be a tier 2 tower going down. And it looks like the pushing lineup from eL'Pride gonna get pushed harder in return. They are now behind on towers. Well, they were already behind on racks. We're gonna see Hakon force-staffing himself forward to try and stay alive from blow your brain. He just thinks, oh, look, tower. I took a previous one in tier 3. I can do the same thing here. This time though, there's actually people trying to defend it, and you know, Empire doesn't want to go for tier 3s when they're defended. Crazy talk. Crazy talk indeed. But yeah, that is I mean, it's not a high kill game. If eL'Pride gets themselves a good team fight still going and get the difference with fights and therefore with experience, because the experience difference is not that big. I mean, it's still in favor of Empire, of course. They have been playing less 5-man Dota than eL'Pride has. But if they get some 2 good team fights, get a couple of team wipes, they will still be able to get themselves back into the game. But I mean, you're up against the Lifestealer and against a Gyrocopter that are both definitely doing very well on the farm. Look at the net worth graph. Of course, Massacre is doing okay for himself, and he actually picked himself up a relic. Interesting enough. I hate to say it, but maybe it's gonna be a last hope Divine Rapier. Who knows? But yeah, he is still lower than the main carry of Empire, but he's also lower than the Nature's Prophet and the Gyrocopter. And I mean, the difference is really, really big. As Goblike is just pushing on the bottom lane, looks to be going for an Orchid as well. We do have the Lifestealer still picking up a Rubik though. Was slightly overextending his boundaries right there. As it looks like we might see Goblike teleporting here. At least he was thinking about it. We already see Vigil standing around there. He has got himself a Blink Dagger, and they don't have a ward here, so they don't have the vision, unfortunately, for him. And we do see everybody of eL'Pride backing off, so no RP surprise this time, or at least maybe if there was one. No, it's not on cooldown, so he didn't whiff it yet. But who knows what's still to come. I mean, it's looking tough for eL'Pride if they still want to get back on this game. If they still want to take this game. And of course they still want to, but can they is the question. And I think it's mostly going to come down if Empire makes some big mistakes and they can profit from it. Like if Vegas wastes another RP, that would be quite nice. Or if, I don't know, if they can fight a fight 5 on 3 or something. eL'Pride is with 5 and Empire is with 3. They might be able to get it, but it's very hard to get them 5 on 3 because even if they go for that, then if they don't have Goblike, for example, Goblike can just TP himself in unless he dies because he's getting telekinesis struck by hello RP though. Hits on 2, cooldown coming down as well. Goblike Still alive. Omni Slash not hitting on him. Vacuum back in. It's going to be settled. It's going to be going down. But just like the Darkseer, Massacre locked inside the Sprout. That's the main carry down. But he buys back. And Goblak, for some weird reason, I was gonna say not TPing out just yet. He's gonna TP out, but he can be back in just a moment. He has, of course, got the teleport. There's gonna be Massacre that's gonna be trying to force the team of Empire back, though. But is it gonna be working out? Flat Cannon is definitely gonna help out, push the lane out if they get that. There we go. But open wounds, Riku, Trouble, dead. Telekinesis still stuns up Vigos. He still has got some mana left in him as the tier 3 tower goes down. eL'Pride, what can they do? They still have... What do they still have? Disruptions. They don't have their melee barracks on the bottom lane anymore, and range barracks are gonna go down as well. And now open wounds up a Massacre, and the silent goes out as well, and that is gonna be the GG well played. Skewer back for Hakon, Shockwave to go through, and it will be Scandal that picks up the last hit. But the GG well played goes out, so Empire, they keep their hope of going to Kiev alive. As said at the start of the game, though, that fact that they can still go to Kiev, but it all depends on the match that happens on Thursday. We're gonna have another game coming up right next after this one, though. No Tidehunter versus 3D Max, but I'm gonna tell you about the match on Thursday because it's gonna be it's gonna be Virtus Pro taking on Mousesports on Thursday, and that game will actually decide Empire's fate, most of it. Because one of those two teams is gonna lose, and they will be on par with Empire at that time on score. So, which one is it gonna be? I know, kills all over the place. I'm waiting for everybody to disconnect. Looks like Goblak just wants to end it though, going for the tier 3s, tier 4s rather. There are mega clips now as well. Thank you all for watching. If you want to support me, you can do so by following me on Twitter, twitter.com/SheeverGaming. By the way, also, next game will also be casted by Epi from Joy Knowledge, so you can tune into him. He should be having a stream live as well soon, as the next game will be starting fairly soon. Official starting time is 7, so 1900, which is about now-ish, I think so. Anyways, oh, come on. What can you possibly be still doing? Wow, what was that? There we go. And, yeah, well, stick around for another game of Dota 2. No Tidehunter versus 3D Max. It's gonna be the number 1 up against number 15, if I recall correctly. But we'll see that when the game actually comes. I'll put the scores up again. Anyways, don't go anywhere. We have got ourselves another game of Dota coming up in just a moment.